All right. So everybody, what we're first going to do is we're going to go in to her ads manager. So if you're not familiar with ads manager, it's essentially where in Facebook ads, you can promote stuff, right? So if I have a Shopify store and I sell t-shirts, or if I have a, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I have to sell, anything, I can manage my ads. So this is, I believe this would be, yes, this is her Facebook business page, fan page, right?
Correct.
So this is what she has set up to start. Well, look at this last post. She was at the mastermind, and you can just see here a small little group of people just sitting, hanging out, and masterminding about ads and strategies and how to run Facebook and how to get more views on YouTube, right? She's got 600 likes on this page, right? And she's putting out, slowly dripping out content to these people. Now, to turn up the heat a little bit, you can go into, what we're going to do is click up here in the top right. We're going to go to manage ads, and we're going to get right into it, okay? So no fluffy stuff here today. We're just going to get right into it. Is this the one that you're running ads from?
Well, I did my likes campaign from that, but I think it really should be from the Market to Millions account. But yeah, that one, the first one, not not Market 2.
So if you've already run ads on the other one, let's stick with that one.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got a little seasoning to the ads account. So
Okay.
We'll stick with that, and there's really not a big difference. A lot of people have different theories on that. There's not really any real difference. They function the exact same, so it's not a big deal. Okay, cool. So if we're here in the ads manager then, this month, for the month of May, all right, so what we're going to do, in order to create an ad, now let's just back up for a quick second, and let me also just explain your sales funnel. So that would I think it's actually this, I would guess. Yeah. All right, guys. So essentially, in a nutshell, is this where we're going to send them?
The ads? Yeah, I think so.
Cool. So
yeah.
In a nutshell, everybody, there's going to be a few pieces to this sales funnel process, right? So stick with me here. The first piece is what we call an ad, right? Or content or an ad. So you might have YouTube content, or you might have blog content, or you might go on Facebook and place an ad. Okay. Second piece is you have a landing page, a capture page, a lead capture page. Look at this right now. That's what this is on the screen. This is a lead capture page. I'm capturing their information. Now the cool part is when I enter my information on this screen, it's connected to her autoresponder. She has like 30 plus emails that are going to go out one after the other, right? And so the people who come through here who read her story, who enter their name and email are going to get emails from her for over a month. And one per day, every single day to follow up, right? Most sales happen between the 5th and 12th contact online. So there's this very real thing that happens in email marketing where when you get a lead, you need to follow up with those leads. And this is how you do it, right? So then if I hit get instant access here, what it's going to do is it's going to take us to a bridge page. Now this is what's called a bridge page funnel. All right. So what she did is she actually has a video. So this is connecting the dots, right, between her ad and her landing page with whatever she's going to offer, which is your bridge page, okay? So she's out on her ranch. She's got her horses, and this is just playing a little slow because we're doing screen share and we have a lot of bandwidth issue right now. But so you guys can see this video that she's got, and then if she wants to get them to start their journey, she's got a little bit of a little bio kind of thing down below, and then you can click yes, show me the video, and they're going to jump right over to the 15-day challenge with Dave Sharp. All right. So this is where she's then collecting sales on the back end of things. All right. Now, Jane, just one thing is probably go in on that bridge page, and I would change that to Marketers Club, just because that free challenge aspect is going to go away eventually.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so the first stage of getting traffic, this is the process of getting traffic, getting people, targeted people to a page, right? To a sales funnel where you can then capitalize and make an ROI. This is the first step. So we're going to create a little ad, all right? So I'm going to show you how to do this right now. We're actually going to place her ad and get it live on this webinar, okay? So there's a bunch of different campaigns in Facebook ads, and I have training in the back office on this, but there's a bunch of different types of campaigns, for instance. And follow this, because there's awareness, there's consideration, and there's conversion. These are the different categories, right? So awareness, consideration, and conversion. This means cold, warm, and hot, right? Awareness is I have no clue who you are. Consideration is, oh, I heard of you, or I may have heard of you, and I might be more interested in what you've got to tell me now. And then conversion ad is a hot, right? It's like you're asking for the sale kind of thing, right? Now, the way that we structure this and make this function, it makes the most sense to do a conversion ad here, even though we're really focusing more on reach and lead generation. The conversion ad is going to make the most sense for driving leads to a lead capture page. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a conversion campaign, all right? And we're just going to name this, I'm going to call it MC 5/2019. That way we know what day we launched it. We know we're going to the Marketers Club, okay? So create A/B split test. Nope, just going to leave it. We can do that on our own. Optimize budget across ad sets. Just going to leave that alone too, okay? There's no right or wrong here. It's just I've tested quite a bit of this and I haven't really seen much good come from doing those. So for me at least, I'm just not going to do it here. If you want to, in your own marketing, I'm speaking to Jana, I'm speaking to everybody. In your own marketing, if you want to test that, you can. It's not a big deal. Generally, with a lot of marketing, there's not a right or a wrong or a yes or a no. It's a test and try and see, okay? All right, now, in the ad set, now we've moved on from the campaign to the second category, which is the ad set, okay? So imagine that the campaign itself is a filing cabinet, right? It's a filing cabinet that's going to store all your audiences, all your ads, everything. So inside of this campaign, we're going to have ad sets, which are like the file folders, right? That when you pull out a filing cabinet and there's all those folders inside of it, okay, those are ad sets. And then the paper, the actual individual pieces of paper that go into the folders, that's our ad. That's our identity, the format, the pictures you'll actually see. It's the creative. All right, so now on this, I'm going to install one thing for you real quick, which is the Facebook. And if you're taking notes here, this is a really important extension to put into Chrome. Facebook Pixel extension for Chrome. Now what this is it'll allow you to, it's the Facebook Pixel Helper is what it's called. But essentially what it'll do is it will allow you to see if your Facebook Pixel is installed or not. So we're going to add this as an extension. We'll let it load. No, we don't need that. Okay. All right, so I'll close this out now. Now you can see up here, right here, Facebook Pixel Helper, right? So we don't have a Facebook Pixel on that one. But if I go back, let's see if we've got it on here. Oh, baby, we have the pixel, right? However, notice this and take note, the lead pixel is installed on this page. This isn't the page we want that installed on. We want that installed on the next page. So now we're going to run over to ClickFunnels and fix this real quick. This is why we do this, so you guys can see the little techie hiccups and things that come up along the way to make sure you get all these pieces right. Now, why did I not want somebody on here? Give me a hand raise if you've placed Facebook ads before. Has anybody on here placed Facebook ads? Are you all pretty new to this process? Anybody? Literally nobody has placed a Facebook ad. Okay, somebody has. Okay, we got a couple. Brittany has. Why would I, for those of you who have, why would I not want the lead pixel on this page? Why would I not place a lead pixel on this page? And what a lead pixel is when somebody hits the page, it sends back to Facebook and says, hey, you got a new lead. The reason I wouldn't do that on this page is because this is the first page they get to. They're not a lead yet, right? They're not a lead quite yet because it's the squeeze page. Exactly, Brad got it, Gail got it, yeah, they haven't opted in yet. Exactly right. So literally what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hop into ClickFunnels where this is where her sales funnel is made, and we're gonna go right into the bridge funnel here. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make this little correction. So I'm gonna go to edit page and see if it's let me see if it's on the lead page. Okay, so the lead pixel's on both of them. So let's see if it's in here. If it's in this tracking code here. Okay, it's not. So I know where it is then. So if it's not there, we'll go back here into settings. And it's going to be right here. All right, so we have our head tracking code. Now this is all done correctly. This is done right. All right, but I'm assuming in somewhere in here we have something that is a lead indicator or something to that effect. I don't actually see that, so I have no idea where this is now. Okay, so this is good. We're going to figure it out. But I don't know where it is because generally it would be right here. So you're watching live as I'm like, you know, this is your guys' life, is this like techie nightmare stuff, right? Sometimes. So let me just show you what I'm looking at. I'm looking right here where it says track page view. So that's the event that it's tracking for Facebook, right? Is just page view. However, when I go here, somehow, some way, somewhere, it's shooting a lead pixel and page view, right? Now, generally, if it's shooting that lead pixel, it would be somewhere in here. So it would be somewhere in this coding, in this, it would say lead somewhere in this pixel, right? So you've done that part right so far. But somewhere this is getting us mixed up. So let's go to the thank you page. Let's edit the thank you page and see. Jane, I'm curious, do you have an inkling of where that is or how that got on there?
Don't have a clue. I mean, I just followed your instructions, you know, months ago and haven't thought about it since.
Cool. All
and
right,
just trusted it worked. Yeah.
All right, so here's the lead pixel, right? This is what I was looking for on the other one, was this lead pixel. So this is all done correctly, but somehow it's showing up on the opt-in page as well. Let me make sure that, let me go to it from my computer. Interesting. So on my computer, it's not showing up. So I think what we might have an issue of is on your computer, I think the page might be cached. It's called caching.
Yeah.
So let me preview this page, and I bet it won't show up here. Let me see. There we go. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's always good to double check, and it's always good to look, but we're actually good to go. For some reason on your browser here, it's...
That's why I don't use Chrome too much, because it was doing all kinds of messed up things to me. So I just use Internet Explorer.
Okay. So it's not the biggest deal in the world, but sometimes that will mess up. There's things that Internet Explorer messes up. There can also be things that Chrome. Now, with Facebook Pixel, here's the thing. I think what happened here, I'm just going to clarify. I think what happened is you took the pixel. Remember when you said, I think we should do it from that other account?
Mm-hmm.
I think you took the pixel from that account, that other ad account, and put it on this page. So we're going to have to change that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Barely.
I'll show you. Because each ad account, you have 3 of them. Each one has a different pixel.
Okay.
So, did I spell this right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to create a new pixel for this one. I just had a question come through that says, do I need a page view pixel to show in both landing page and bridge page? Yes, you do. But it will be the same pixel. So after you create the pixel, you'll click Set Up Pixel Now. And you'll click Manually Install the pixel code yourself. And then you're going to scroll down here to number 2 and copy this pixel. So all you're going to do, CK, so Chao Kwong was the person who asked this question. You go to Settings for your funnel, and we're just going to replace this code here. We're going to select all, and we're going to paste in the new code. All right? So now the pixel that's on this funnel is the exact pixel for the ad account that we're actually going to be using. That's all we really have to change, okay? So I'm going to click on Continue. I was just reading a question here. I'm just getting a little echo, Jane, so I'm going to mute you, and I think you can unmute yourself whenever you want to speak. All right, so we got it. It's set up. It's good to go. And now, remember, we're using a lead event. So I'm going to type in lead here, and I'm going to click on it. Got it? So there we go. So now it's going to track leads because we haven't actually done it. We haven't actually done anything. You're going to see a red dot. So if you want that red dot to go away, click on Verify Pixel. All right, so I'm going to click on Manually Install the pixel code yourself. And if I would have scrolled down even further, I can send test traffic. All right, so we'll make sure that this shows up here. It says that there's a 2 and it's green. So then I'll close this window. Click Continue. And then I'll close this. And it doesn't look like it did anything. So, okay, so let's do this again. Let's make sure that this works. Maybe we're just getting a little bit of a glitch. It could just be Google Chrome being weird or whatever. Because we do have it installed. It's good to go. Everything's fine. Let's scroll down. Scroll down. Oh, okay, here. So it still says no activity. Look at what Facebook says. If the status is still no activity after 20 minutes, so this might take 20 minutes to flip green. Got it? That's a new little feature. So Brad, yeah, so what it's going to do, Brad, is it's going to show us how many leads we're generating in Facebook ads. If I don't track this, right, if I don't track this lead pixel here, then what's going to happen is Facebook's algorithm, as we place ads, tracks over a 7-day click. So what they're doing is over the span of a week, their algorithm is essentially optimizing for conversions, for leads. But if Facebook's pixel can't look and see which people are becoming leads, then they can't optimize and find more people like them. So your costs will go up over time or stay around the same, as opposed to if you have this conversion pixel like this, your costs slowly go down because they're finding the same people. They're finding more similar people. It's their advanced, or it's their artificial intelligence. It's AI, right? Not necessarily a lookalike, Brittany. It'll do it before you even get into lookalikes. Like, yeah, a lookalike is one thing, but it'll start to do essentially that on its own. It optimizes itself. Okay, so we have our conversion. We have our lead pixel, okay? So we're going to go down now to, and I'm going to just skip all of this stuff. You don't need this stuff right now, okay? But I'm going to come down here to audience. Now, this is define who you want to see your ads. This is super important, all right? Side note, if you have a Shopify store, you're going to want to go into Shopify, and they actually have a plugin for Facebook Pixel, and it'll pixel your entire site. It'll track the amount of time that people spend on certain items. So if you have a Shopify store and you're selling clothing, you install the Facebook, there's plugins, it'll do all of this pixely stuff for you. And you can track everybody who's been on a certain product for 5 seconds or 30 seconds or 60 seconds. So you can track if people have been looking at your products for longer than a minute, and then you can retarget those people with ads to buy, right? Super powerful. Okay, so we have audience here, all right? So audience-wise, look, you know, I'm not saying you're really old, but I am saying 18-year-olds probably aren't going to resonate with your story, right? Here, let me unmute you, right?
Correct, yeah, don't want 18-year-olds.
And I'm not marketing to 67-year-olds. It's just, look, when it comes down to audience, you're going to want to find people in your age range, maybe people who have been through similar things or are interested in similar things that you are, right? Okay, so Nathan's 18 years old. Nathan, you probably aren't going to do a lot of marketing to, if you're marketing yourself, like you and your brand, probably not to like 72-year-olds. I mean, sure, they might buy, right? But you're going to want to market to people who are going to really resonate with your story. And you growing up on Snapchat and Instagram is not really the background that, you know, a 72-year-old has, right? So maybe they could buy, but you'll lower your cost for each buyer if you can nail down exactly who it is that you're targeting. So the custom audiences, we can leave this blank for right now because we don't have enough traffic to really dial that piece in. All right, so one big thing here, location-wise, I always like to change the location to people who live in this location rather than just everyone in this location. If there's people traveling from like other countries or whatever, what I'm looking for is my target demographic is the person who would actually live in one of these locations, live in one of these places, right? Okay, so what can I do in terms of targeting people around the world, right? So when I'm doing targeting on Facebook, you can literally type in the word worldwide, okay? You don't want to do this, but you can, and you can target 2.1 billion people. So that's a thing you can do. If you wanted to target, if you want your ads to show up to the entire world, okay, if we're going to target 2.1 billion people, and I know that that's absurd, but just stick with me for a second. It's probably going to take us 210,000 days to do that because on average we're going to get between 2.7 and 17,000 people, right? So 210,000 divided by 365. It would take you 575 years to hit the whole world, right? So, okay, probably not great. Probably not a great option. Probably not going to happen, right? It's pretty unrealistic, but also it's just too broad, everybody, right? So think about how big and broad the world is, right? There's people who are on Android phones in the middle of the desert in Africa who just, I mean, literally, like, they don't have a dime to their name. They're walking 6 miles to get fresh water. So if I want to sell them like $1,000 course on Facebook, or a $500 or even a $30 Marketers Club, do you really think that that's money well spent on advertising? Probably not, right? So who are we going to target? In this case, well, we need to find people with a little bit of money at least, right? I mean, at least some measure of, like, maybe credit or money in hand or whatever, right? So, I mean, you can go to, United States, Canada. I mean, look, you can target, we just had a guy at our mastermind who's from Tanzania, right? Paid a lot of money to be at Florida, flying there. He's like, traveling all over the world. We had a couple ladies from the Netherlands, right? So I'm not saying you just need to target, US, Canada, Australia, whatever. I mean, you can get a little bit more broad, but just look, when you're getting started, this is kind of a good, like, US, Canada makes up a lot of people who respond to our ads. It just is. It's more familiar, it's more known, okay? So for right now, I'm just going to leave it at that. Is that cool? And we can always change it. Okay? All right, so now let's move on to the age. So with the age, like, I would say probably 45 is like where I would set this at the minimum. In general, that's actually the best in terms of cost. A lot of times the best cost anyway, even outside of your age. Like, even if you were 38, I would still probably say that would be a good range. Make sense? And then I would probably say like 60 as our max. Thoughts?
Well, why not 65?
We can go to 65. Sure.
Okay.
Cool. So
it's just not that old. I run into a lot of people who are that age who are, like, just getting into internet stuff, and really it's like rocking their world. So I know they're out there.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I mean, they're everywhere. Okay. So now, if we're going to target Canada and the US, generally, like, people are going to be English-speaking people. So you can literally leave the language part blank. If you're out there and you're going to advertise to, I mean, Italy and Belgium and Indonesia, and I mean, if you're marketing to countries, yes, Brittany, that's the reason. If you're marketing to countries that, like, don't speak English as a normal everyday language, you're going to want to go right here and go and select English. And you can select English all, right? So right now, so far, we have 94 million people to market to. Not bad, right? Now, here's the other thing. Do we want to narrow this down by gender? Do we want to just launch this to women? Do we want it to be women and men?
I don't know. Maybe what if we did women and men, and then as I progress, then we can start narrowing things down.
Yep.
Even more.
So as we run ads, in your back office in Facebook, it's going to tell you your cost for each lead for a male and the cost for each lead for a female. So it might be 82 cents per lead for a female. It might be $1.47 for a male, or it might be $6 for a male. And then you'd be like, oh my gosh, why would I advertise?
Yeah. Yeah. And why is that? What determines that cost?
Your story, ad photos, right? I mean, if you get a lady who's, like, advertising herself in a bikini on a beach, right? Her ad costs and whatever for males goes way down, right? all the guys are just like, "Wow, what's going on here?" You know, and so they're
Right.
all they flood to this because it's, you know, clickbait. So it's not actually all that congruent, right? It's not actually really
I
great.
can agree, yeah.
It's kind of misleading a little. So okay, so we're gonna leave the English blank. We're just gonna delete that, leave that blank. Now we're gonna go down to here, which is detailed targeting. This is some of the most important stuff in Facebook ads is right here. So when we're talking targeting, I want everybody to pay super close attention. Some of the best traffic online comes from Google search. Search, meaning somebody types in, how do I start an online business? How do I start a Shopify store? How do I start drop shipping? How do I start making money on the internet? Something like that, right? They're looking to figure out, I want to create a real business. I want to set up an LLC. I want to set up a real business, and I want to make an income from this thing called the internet, right? So Facebook does not allow that, right? Facebook is interruption marketing. However, if you can get the targeting right, then you can essentially do just that. You can turn Facebook into a search platform for the most part and still get your costs really, really low, okay? All right, so if we're going into detailed targeting, everybody, so if I go to browse here, okay, and I go to demographics, or I go to interests, or I go to behaviors, there's a whole massive selection of things that I can target here, right? So this is very much based around entrepreneurship. So let me show you one. If I was to just target entrepreneurship, the size of that audience is 313 million people, right? So it's a pretty big, broad audience, right, of entrepreneurs or people who like something to do with entrepreneurship. Now here would be something a little bit more powerful and targeted than that. Would be somebody like Amy Porterfield. Are you familiar with her?
I'm not, actually.
Okay, so Amy Porterfield is wildly famous in affiliate marketing, network marketing, digital marketing space, has a podcast everybody loves, and it is just has like a cult-like following. But she specifically, if somebody clicks like on Amy Porterfield, there's almost a certainty that they are in affiliate marketing, which is kind of like the realm you're going for, right? See the difference there? Entrepreneurship versus a singular person. So let's just try out Amy Porterfield, and let's just smash that audience and see what happens, right? Okay, now, just for everybody who's watching, there's this little checkbox, okay? Now, there is no right or wrong to this. Again, not everything that I'm showing you is right or wrong. It's just you test it and try it and get a result. That's how marketing works. So there's this little checkbox. I'll tell you from my perspective, every time I use this stupid checkbox, my costs are higher. I don't know why that is, when the whole goal of that little checkbox is to increase conversions and lower costs, right? Makes zero sense that every time I've tested it, it's like, it's just I don't know, my costs go up. It makes no sense. So I always uncheck that because, look, if I'm targeting Amy Porterfield, I don't want them diving into other audiences that they conceive of or are kind of like that. Maybe they start digging in audiences around like drop shipping and just weird stuff that like people might not really be, I don't know, might not be my target, right? Good question, CK. So the Amy Porterfield thing, yes, it's specific to the ad for Jane a little bit, but it's also just generic entrepreneurs, right? She's going to pull in a lot of females who are trying to start their own business, and I think personally, those people are going to be the perfect audience for this, or close. I could be wrong. Look, I could be wrong. It might not. It might not work. I don't know. But I've done this enough times to know it probably will. Okay, so now look, I can add more of these. I can say Amy Porterfield and And let's say digital marketing. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, right? So they have to like Amy Porterfield and like digital marketing, or have an interest in digital marketing, or affiliate marketing. Now, one quick thing for everybody who's watching. Notice these little gray things over here to the right. This is super important. This is somebody, job titles, who has typed into Facebook, my job title is an affiliate marketer. This is somebody who said their employer is affiliate marketer, right? That's actually somebody who's probably taking this decently seriously. Interest just means that they've liked something remotely that has to do with affiliate marketing. So that's a little more broad, right? But I'm okay using that because we're now getting really detailed. We're saying affiliate, Amy Porterfield is our first umbrella. Underneath her umbrella, I don't want all 2.2